Our warmest greetings to all. Volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous VUCA challenge took a sinister dimension during this prolonged global COVID 19 pandemic, which severely tested resiliency and optimism, especially the business community. Cebu Chamber or Cebu CCI mustered its natural capital to turn negative VUCA to a constructive VUCA, namely value creation, unity of aspiration and purpose, convergence and collaboration, and advocacy on prosperity for all. Cebu CCI is a living testimony that once more underscores how chamber movement can be a potent force in economic survival and revival. What follows is a presentation of how this synergy among business leaders, mutually satisfying partnerships with enablers, and nurtured connectivity within the business community create a warp drive that accelerates sought-after development. Cebu Chamber's first advocacy is for a more competitive Cebu by pursuing ease and lowered cost of doing business. The passion and commitment of business leaders and champions are palpable as they address pain points and pursue enabling ecosystems for businesses to thrive and be more competitive. Our advocacy to lower power costs in Cebu to more reasonable rates competitive with the rest of the country is now gaining traction, evident when Visayas Electric Company waived guaranteed minimum billing demand, when DOE applied a new timeline to fast-track the effectivity for the implementation of retail competition and open access in Visayas grids, and when ERC issued a directive for distribution utilities and cooperatives to refund their customers in over-recoveries. Our published opposition to a water price hike in Metropolitan Cebu netted a joint statement with Metro Cebu Water District Board that there will be no increase in the price of water in the next 2 years, and no recovery fees resulting from the diesel project will be passed on to water consumers. Our second advocacy is towards a safer and healthier Cebu during the pandemic through multi-stakeholder collective commitment to combat COVID in our communities. Cebu Chamber shared the forefront with the other business leaders in Project Balik Buhay for a sharp, drastic reduction and flattening the curve of COVID-19 transmission in Cebu and its tri-cities. Joint interventions contributed to reduce spike of new cases during the third wave. Our massive vaccination drive facilitated over 3,785 companies to participate in the government vaccination program and resulted with 333,917 employees fully vaccinated by September 28. 48% of the total eligible population in Metro Cebu were fully vaccinated by September 18 in 11 PBB vaccination centers operated by private sector volunteers. Cebu CCI also contributed to the PBB Salbabida program to alleviate the plight of nurses attending to COVID patients across the different participating private hospital partners in Cebu that benefited 993 nurses in August alone. We also supported civil society campaign with the church in the Cebu Citizens Initiative. Cebu Chamber's third advocacy is fostering an investment climate for economic revival in Cebu. Cebu Chamber engaged with the Cebu City government to invest an 18 million peso seed fund for the Cebu Investments Development Concierge, hosted by Cebu Chamber. It pursues programs on business intelligence research, governance, digital promotions, marketing, and supply chain ecosystem development. The latter includes mobilizing the Cebu business community entrepreneurs as mentors and coaches for over 3,000 MSMEs in entrepreneurial mentoring program across 80 barangays. Cebu Chamber is taking steps to build an alliance among stakeholders in animation, game development, comics, film, theater, arts, and content during the Creative Entertainment Week. We succeeded in ramping up interest, pledges of support, and collaboration for the creative entertainment industry to take off. In the offing is a 15 million peso investment of the city government to support Faith of My People project, co-sponsored with Cebu International Film Foundation. Cebu Chamber advocates in the halls of government development councils and special bodies where its voice is heard, expressing not only the sentiments and concerns of the business community, but making pitches based on collective wisdom of the business leaders born from experiential learnings and evidence-based business intelligence research. Cebu Chamber has reached an esteemed status of being sought and heard, referred to and deferred to as the voice and vanguard of Cebu's business community, a recognition arising not only from present day, but also from years of relentlessly pursuing advocacies and influencing policies, undertaking programs and projects, while maintaining good relations and partnerships with government and prominent non-government entities. These create an enabling environment for businesses to thrive. Cebu delivery of local chamber services has exponentially increased during the period by going into reciprocal partnership agreements with government and non-government institutions for programs that enhance the competencies and upgrade the skills of the enterprises, not only in Cebu, but in the region as well. MSMEs engaged seasoned mentors and coaches from amongst members are mobilized so that the graduates are steeped in entrepreneurial mindset with matching technical and life skills. Trade and investments undertakings included Global Opportunities, Residency and Citizenship by Investments, Western Cape Business Opportunities Forum, and Fresh Produce Exports Forum, South Africa. An afternoon tea catch-up meeting with Australian Ambassador Stephen J. Robinson. We co-hosted the 2021 Central Visayas Business Conference with Italian Chamber, German-Philippine Chamber, Advantage Austria, French Chamber of Commerce, the Spanish Chamber of Commerce in the Philippines. We launched CCCI Classifieds for digital marketing and promotion for e-commerce while the marketplace app is under development. Cebu Business Month has metamorphosed into Cebu Business Mobilization Services offered throughout the year, with themes such as Bring It On for the fast-forward digital transformation, Accompanying Dream for digital services entrepreneurs advancement mentorship, Rise Forward for resilience, innovation, and sustainable entrepreneurship, and CEW for Creative Entertainment Week. These events create meaningful interactions by bringing together strategic players and champions in various industries, including the enablers in government, to discuss not only the current realities, risks, and challenges confronting stakeholders, but also present innovative opportunities that spark optimism and hope. These give rise to partnerships, to repurpose business models, and infusion of investments. Our attention on the disruptions from the pandemic did not dilute our exercise of corporate social responsibility for Albay as we partnered with PCCI, Metro Naga, and Albay Chambers. For Catanduanes, where we partnered with APAD, Hayag, and PDRF. We continued our COVID-19 solidarity projects by contributing to community pantries and frontliner services. With Asia Pacific Alliance for Disaster Management, Japan, Cebu CCI prepositioned 10 medical tents located strategically throughout Cebu Island. Partnerships inked with government, industry, and academe enabled the pursuit of meaningful interventions for target beneficiaries among vulnerable sectors such as solo mothers, farmers, women, and out-of-school youth. CCCI website www.cebuchamber.org and Facebook offer easy-to-navigate and user-friendly interactive facilities. Members actively share information and views through our Chamber Beat e-newsletter, email, and industry-specific Viber chat groups, while adoption of Zoom, Google Meet, MS Teams provide the key interface for virtual interactions. Cebu CCI was recognized the most outstanding chamber in the Visayas and the Philippines during the 46th Philippine Business Conference, the COVID-19 Hero Chamber of the Year 2020 Award from Asia Pacific Association of Chambers, while President Taguiam bestowed Most Outstanding COVID-19 Volunteer for 2020 by Philippine National Volunteer Service Coordinating Agency. We appreciate the plaques from local partners such as the Bureau of Customs Port of Cebu for remaining steadfast and proactive in the approach to interagency coordination, having been the Bureau's invaluable partner for border protection, revenue collection, and trade facilitation. The passion, active dedication, and commitment of yet another set of business leaders in the community, engaged as 21 officers and trustees of the Chamber, with a pool of profound champions in various advocacies, as resource experts, mentors, and coaches in the Chamber capacity-building interventions and uplifting projects, have added to the expanding list of volunteers worthy of admiration, as they also inspire the young and new entrepreneurs. The exercise of good governance imbued with the Chamber culture and values of service, synergy, and commitment has earned the Cebu Chamber respect and recognition in the community that continues to select and elect unanimously time and time again Cebu Chamber leaders to various prominent positions of influence at all levels as they witness not only rhetoric but also end results. The leadership agenda, strategic plans and projects, policy statements and pronouncements are products of an active and dynamic interaction from the board, formulated from evidence-based studies, risk, options, and opportunity analysis, and perhaps more importantly, pooled wisdom. Despite the disruptions from the pandemic, Cebu Chamber continued to accept 42 new members, bringing membership to 877, including 34 sectoral organizations. Virtual general membership meetings are opportunities to keep abreast, while meet and greet sessions pave the way for new members to get acquainted more intimately with Chamber officers, among others, and introduce them to the Chamber World family where their needs might be met and where they can actually participate in development of a more resilient business community. Cebu Chamber participates actively in PCCI activities, including the 46th Philippine Business Conference and Expo, meeting of the PCCI President with Central Visayas Presidents, Sulong Pilipinas 2021, PCCI Committees on Power and Tax. Cebu Chamber joined the 30th Visayas Area Business Conference and Visayas Chamber Management Forum. Cebu Chamber maintains close and open communications with PCCI leaders and staff, providing repertorial requirements on a sustained basis. Chamber finances and resource generation during the pandemic benefited from a financial stress test, external audit, and prudent financial managers over chamber assets. The compelling need to better catalyze revival in the midst of disruptions saw Cebu CCI retrofitting its organization by redefining and repurposing its services towards internal-oriented sustainability needs of Cebu Chamber and externally driven services that respond to the needs of its members and the Cebu business community. It transformed its secretariat into teams instead of divisions. 20 committed and high-performing staff, led by the executive director and quality management team, ensure satisfactory services. The staff metamorphosed into functional teams adjusted to specific quarantine categories and requirements. Cebu CCI has achieved successful recertification of its quality management system under ISO 9001:2015, administered by TUV Rainland. Cebu Chamber continues to rev up the engine of economic growth in Cebu despite limiting conditions. Cebu Chamber of Commerce and Industry carries on, as its tagline reads, connecting opportunities, growing businesses, and creating value. Working in Cebu Chamber, with Cebu Chamber, and through Cebu Chamber is truly worthwhile and rewarding.